Quite the matchup this weekend in the Premier League. Sunday, Anfield. Liverpool taking on Manchester United. An historic rivalry. Both sides having different seasons so far, it's fair to say. Last year, this fixture finished 4-0 to Liverpool. Taking a look at the odds this time around. Going into it as we now welcome in Frank Leboeuf and Nedum Onuoha as well. But of course, Stevie, it's a big game. So what better way to start than asking you for a combined 11 of these two sides?
Yeah, you couldn't ask me 2 years ago when I was a piece of cake and I was just giving you Liverpool's 11. Listen,
First of all, can we put you in the starting 11 with that look? Come on now.
This was painful putting all these Man United players in, let me tell you. But I don't think there's any question right now. You have to play De Gea. Van Dijk and Varane, I think, is a no-brainer. Luke Shaw, again, an easy choice. Alexander-Arnold at right back was a tough one because I don't fancy Dalot. I think Dalot's an average player defensively and going forward, and Wan-Bissaka going forward doesn't give you anything. So because of what's beside him, I've gone for Alexander-Arnold. Casemiro, no-brainer. Fernandes, no-brainer. I had a choice of Henderson or Fred. And the fact that Henderson was so influential last week, he just snuck in there ahead of Fred. I think a Henderson Casemiro with Fernandes in front of them is quite a tasty midfield, plenty of strength. And up front was pretty easy as well. You can't not have Rashford coming in for the left-hand side, and you have to have Weghorst because as a pair, they're working so well together. Yes, Rashford's getting the goals, but a lot of that is because of Weghorst, and you have to play Mo Salah. So unfortunately, it's there's rather a lot of United jerseys in there, but hey, you got to do what you got to do, right?
Ali, about Weghorst making it into the 11 for Stevie Nicol there.
Now, I was surprised about this because usually when the name of Darwin Núñez gets brought up, you're one of the few people that actually has been consistently supportive of Darwin Núñez.
And Darwin Núñez has been doing fine. He's been doing well, if you ask me.
But not as well as Weghorst.
Well, Darwin Núñez has been coming off the left-hand side. Gakpo's been the one playing through the middle. So, you know, if
you could play him down the middle,
if I was allowed to shuffle the pack, but then at the end of the day, the combination of Weghorst and Rashford from Man United has been absolutely huge. So I've got to take my blinkers off and pick the best team. So yeah, I'm quite happy with Núñez. He's still learning his trade. He's still got a long way to go. He's still involved. He's still a pain in the neck for anybody that plays against him. But unfortunately for him, Rashford right now is on fire.
I do have a general question. This is based upon current form.
Right now.
Right now.
Pretty much.
So what makes you believe that right now, where we are, Virgil van Dijk gets anywhere near this team?
Well, he's only played 3 games. We're not talking about Virgil van Dijk of before he got injured. Are you telling me he's been really bad since he came back?
Oh, well, he hasn't been really good, I'll tell you that much.
He hasn't been... Well, who else am I going to play?
Your boy.
Yeah, right.
Your guy.
That's where it was going.
Your guy.
I'll tell you what. If anybody's picking Martinez above Virgil van Dijk, I'm sorry. I'm retiring. I'm retiring.
Well, I'm just saying.
I mean, Varane, come on. Varane and Virgil van Dijk. Are you serious?
No, that's why I asked on current form. I asked the question. I just wanted to know what the criteria was. That's all.
There you go. I wonder what Frank makes of the back line that Stevie's got.
I'm happy with even the combined 11, but I would say the back line, I'm more in a question mark about Trent Alexander-Arnold because right now I think Wan-Bissaka is doing better. Defensively for sure, but also offensively he does his job. Of course, he hasn't got the talent of Alexander-Arnold, but if we judge right now what Wan-Bissaka is doing, I think he gets some credit and maybe could be put in that position. Otherwise, I'm happy. I think Stevie made a good job, and to put Weghorst showed that he's really judging the current form from every player. So fair enough. Well done, Stevie.
Thanks, Frank. But you can understand the problem I had. Because this year is not all of a sudden Alexander-Arnold hasn't been defending well. When Liverpool were winning Premier Leagues and Champions Leagues, he wasn't defending well then either. So, you know, I'm not picking Alexander-Arnold and what he does defensively at all. it just so happens that Wan-Bissaka, I mean, I can't disagree with Frank when he says that he's done better going forward, but what does that mean? He doesn't have an assist. He doesn't play killer passes. I mean, he's a felicitator, isn't he?
He's a right back. Stevie
he's a defender. He's a right back defensively. So, yeah.
Voila.
Yeah, I mean, defensively, yeah.
And you feel confident enough that Konate is going to do a better job, certainly, than what Joe Gomez did against Vinicius Jr., for example, which is a similar type of player.
Correct.
And offers the same sort of threat going forward. Because that didn't go so well for Trent Alexander-Arnold or anybody involved defensively for Liverpool.
No. No, listen, there's no question. If I'm Manchester United, I am looking to hurt Liverpool down that side of the field. Unfortunately for Man United, they're at Anfield. Anfield's not a normal place if you're a Manchester United football player. The hatred and the abuse and all the horrible things about the game that you get when you go near Anfield as a Man United player affects Manchester United players. Listen, Wayne Rooney, one of the best players that ever put a Manchester United jersey on, barely played at Anfield. And when he did, he hardly kicked a ball. There's a different atmosphere at Anfield for a Manchester United player. So, yes, a flowing, happy, go-lucky Rashford, yes, is fantastic. But is that what we're going to get at Anfield? Because there's not many of those in a Man United jersey over the years that have produced that at Anfield.
Erik ten Hag said his side are going to be unfazed by the Anfield
Erik ten
atmosphere.
Hag has never been to Anfield.
This is
as
what
a
he
coach
said.
For a Man United v Liverpool game.
Well, he's relishing the opportunity. He says, I'm looking forward to it, the ambience, the atmosphere. It will be great. It will be hostile against us, but we like that.
Fergie used to say that as well.
Yep.
How did it go for him?
Nedum, what do you think of what Erik ten Hag said here?
Obviously, there'd probably be more context around it, but it's a bold statement because, as Stevie said, this is a very, very big rivalry, and the Liverpool fans do like to make sure that players arriving there do know all about it. And I think for them, it means that for those players, they need to go and match that energy themselves. So in some ways, it's not going to be a game which United will ever probably feel comfortable in. And I think that's the nature of that match itself. So Ten Hag, he's obviously seen fixtures in the past, but I don't know. This is going to be a very, very tough game for them. But then also, you know, I'm sure when we get to predictions, I'm sure most people are still very reluctant to say Liverpool are going to win because United are in such a great vein of form. But I'm sure the occasion's not going to faze him. But as a player, once you're out there, it's very different when you can't even communicate with someone 5 yards away because the noise is so loud every time you get the ball.
Frank, though, they are riding high on confidence, Manchester United, especially with that cup under their belt now. Do you think they'll be unfazed by this atmosphere at Anfield?
I want to believe Stevie when he says that when you play at Anfield, especially when you're a Manchester United fan, you know, the rivalry between the two clubs makes you wonder, you know, if you're going to survive in the middle of the park, and it's always difficult. So they're going to be, not going to be surprised because they all know what they can expect. But are they ready? I don't know. You know, a game is a game. We are talking about human beings, you know, how they think through the game and what they think before the game. It's really something you cannot answer before you see the game. So I guess some players are going to be affected by the situation. And if it goes a little bit wrong at the beginning, it can be a disaster. So I'm not surprised with Ten Hag reaction. What else could I have said? You know, nothing much. You know, he cannot say, no way, are we going to be scared? You know, it's going to be a disaster. It's going to be tough for us. He has to say, yeah, it's going to be hostile. Yeah, we love it. Yeah, of course, everybody has said that. And we'll see, you know, tomorrow how it works.
Well, Nedum mentioned the predictions, so let's bring up the predictions of the panel on how things are going to go down in this game between the two.
Oh, hello.
Everybody's going for a draw.
Wait a minute. What?
Is a draw enough for each team, Stevie? Manchester United in the title race, Liverpool trying to make the top four.
Probably, yeah. Probably. Yeah, I think, listen, if you're Man United, you'll take a point at Anfield. Before a ball's kicked, if you're offered it. Liverpool not so much because they're at home, but still, considering the lack of points that Liverpool have, to at least draw the game, I guess you might accept it.
Nedum, did you give it the old when I asked that question?
I think it might have been Frank. I think Frank's got a big reaction coming.
Okay.
Should probably send it to him, I reckon.
Frank, what was that reaction for?
For what? For that? For all the people saying it's a draw?
Yep.
I think nobody wants. I think nobody wants to admit that we don't really like Manchester United and we don't want them to win.
What?
Sorry,
what?
And definitely not Nedum, their lucky charm.
No,
I'm there again in 2 weeks. Literally, I can't get enough of the place.
You know, and I'm going to tell you why. Because in the 90s, Manchester United was so successful that everybody is a little bit, how would you say, upset about the situation, and especially me. And I saw Manchester United being successful, so successful, so I started to hate them. Well, it's not the case anymore, but I think having a draw for Manchester United at Anfield would be a very good result. I don't think Liverpool is good enough against Manchester United right now to get more than a draw. I think it would be a bad point for Liverpool because they need the 3 points, but that's only a fair result for the form that we see between both teams.
You know, let me just translate for Frank. So when Frank says that nobody likes Manchester United, he's really saying, I don't like Manchester United. Yeah, it's more like Frank doesn't like Manchester United, and that's why he gave it a draw instead of Manchester United win. The reason I go for a draw is because I do believe in the environment that Stevie's talking about, and that there is something special about the rivalry and what this does for this Liverpool team. I have it as a 2-2 draw, because I don't think that Liverpool can defend properly. And I'm afraid that at times, because of that environment, these fans are going to push Liverpool into a back and forth. And when they get into a back and forth, it used to be a good thing, not quite the case nowadays, because they don't control games anymore. So management of the game on the field from Liverpool is the thing that is going to keep them in this match. If they're able to manage moments in which, yes, they can get on a back and forth, and then moments in which they have to slow it down, which seems to be against everything that Liverpool has been over the past few seasons, that's when they get a draw. If they get on a crazy back and forth, I don't think Liverpool keeps up, and I think Manchester United wins. I'll take the draw for now. Let's
talk about some news coming out of the Liverpool camp right now. It's been confirmed by his...
I'm sorry, Kay. I'm going to translate myself what I meant when I meant that everybody hates Manchester United. When you played in the Premier League, I can tell you, if you played in the Premier League, nobody likes Manchester United. That's a fact. Because they've been so successful in the 90s, we don't like them. Stevie Nicol doesn't like Manchester United because he played for Liverpool. I'm pretty sure Nedum Onuoha played for Manchester City, so I'm pretty sure he doesn't like Manchester United. I played for Chelsea, I don't like Manchester United. Now I respect the players, I respect the club, and I respect so much that club. It's why I hate them, because they've been so successful. That's the reason why we don't like them, because they've been successful.
Nedum used to have a cassette tape of Manchester United. I'll just put that out there, just so we can confirm that he doesn't hate them.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.